And welcome back to another episode of Interesting Stuff, where we dive into topics that other people usually don't touch or think about, because we like to do something that is different. And today we will be looking at alternative energy. So, with increasing awareness of our finite fuel resources on this planet, researchers are investigating how we can extract energy from some of the most unlikely sources. Yep, are you ready for this? First, we have exploding lakes. Yes, not the kind of place you want to go for a swim, really, but these so called exploding lakes contain massive reservoirs of methane and CO2. Under normal conditions, the water's density keeps the gases trapped below. But when a lake's temperature and therefore density changes, the gases can violently erupt with a cloud of deadly suffocating gases called a limnic eruption. However, harnessing these dangerous substances could both save lives and provide power. The Kivu Watt project in Rwanda extracts methane from Lake Kivu and sends the gas via a pipeline to a power plant to generate electricity. It's all quite amazing, really. And I'll tell you what, if you can hear some noise in the background, it's the wind, because there's a bit of a storm blowing outside, which made me think about energy here. And from my little window, I can see the wind turbines on a distant hill spinning round. So even out here at what I call the edge of the world, we're looking at ways to harness the power of nature. But anyway, enough about what's happening here. Let's look at our second alternative energy source, which is body heat. Buildings can be heated efficiently by harnessing the body heat of crowds, particularly those in shopping centres and train stations. In Stockholm Central Station in Sweden, the body heat of around 250,000 passengers a day is used to heat a nearby office block. In the station's ventilation system, heat exchangers transfer the thermal energy from the air to water in the pipes, which is then pumped into the neighbouring office's heating system. And that's quite incredible, but it does make me wonder what happens when there's perhaps a holiday and there's not people in the station. Moving on, our third energy source is parties, because everybody loves a good party, right? So imagine hitting the dance floor to your favorite songs and knowing that while you were dancing, you were helping to power homes. Club Watt in the Netherlands is doing just that by using floor vibrations to power the lights. The company Energy Floors have created tiles that contain an electromechanical system transforming small vertical movements when they are stepped on into rotating movement, which drives a generator positioned below and, in the end, produces electricity. Which is so cool, as while the music is pumping and thumping and you're jamming on the floor, you can actually be doing some good, not just for yourself, but for society as well. Now, number four, well, this is a little bit of a tricky topic to talk about. This one is the power of human body waste. Now, it might sound a little bit gross, but this is one power supply that will never run out. And so what happens is when bacteria feed on human feces under anaerobic conditions, they produce methane and carbon dioxide gas, which can be stored and used as fuel. Some companies even process human waste into a hygienic solid fuel that can be used as a replacement for coal. And so, really, it's kind of pretty cool that they don't let all the waste go to waste, but if we think about it, we're able to recycle pretty much almost everything nowadays, which is good for the environment. Next on the list, number 5, this is coffee grounds, because Everyone loves a good cup of coffee, right? Well, globally, over 2 billion cups of coffee are drunk every day. But rather than binning the leftover grounds, if we want, we could actually use them as a fuel. BioBean are a UK company that have turned this idea into a business, collecting waste coffee grounds from businesses and turning them into various biofuels and biochemicals. By removing moisture from the grounds and compressing them into pellets, the company can create coffee logs that customers can use instead of traditional wood on fires. And you know what? I bet it smells quite nice as well when it's burning. And so, last but not least on the list, we have jellyfish. Yep. Current technology limits the amount of energy we can collect and store from solar power. But scientists are now investigating how we can use biosolar sources. Golden jellyfish host large amounts of algae-like organisms which photosynthesize very efficiently within their tissues. So, by harvesting the photosynthesizing reaction centers of the organisms, scientists could create much more efficient biosolar panels to use on buildings and houses and throughout industry and society. And so, this is kind of studying and learning from the environment that we live within and trying to recreate the good things that happen. And so there we had 6 ideas about alternative energy sources that might make the world a better place to live. Now, these are the main ones, but there were a few even more strange ones that I came across in my research. So I'm just going to drop these in for you at the end. Here's 3 really crazy sources of energy. Number 1 is the underground in London. So, as part of the European Union's co-founded Celsius project, there is a scheme that hopes to trap the humidity from the tube, the train running underground through London, which could in turn be used to heat homes in the different boroughs. Number 2 is solar winds. This is all about using satellites to capture streams of energized particles that flow from the sun, which in turn could be transmitted back to Earth through an infrared laser, which is really futuristic stuff. And 3, this is dead heat, which is the practice of using crematoriums where dead bodies are burned to heat local facilities. And in Durham, in England, the local council has announced plans to install twin turbines into the crematorium burners and then to sell the excess energy back to the national grid, which in my mind creates a few little ethical questions. And so that's it today for our amazing alternative energy sources. I hope there was something new and interesting there for you. If there's another topic you'd like me to cover, then let me know and I'll try to dive in there. As always, there'll be a few comprehension questions under the video to check your understanding. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, as always, I wish you an absolutely fantastic day. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.